So most people think you need 2 years in business, tax returns, and proof of revenue before a bank gives you a dime. And that's just simply not true. I know you can get $50,000 in business funding with no proof of income, even if your LLC was created last week. Sound too good to be true? That's exactly what people said to me before I started showing them how the banks actually work. Again, it's not about you and your credit, it's about the profile itself. So in this video, I'm going to break down why this is possible, which banks are actually doing it, and how you can position your business to get approved. I'm Brittany Cow, and I provide insights around credit, business, and finance, and my goal is to help business owners turn credit into capital and capital into freedom. So when I first started teaching business funding, people called me crazy. They'd say, Brittany, there's no way that a brand new LLC or business can walk into a bank and get real money. Maybe 10 to 20K, but not 50, 100, $150,000. But what they didn't understand was that funding isn't about time in business. It's about positioning, structure. I learned that the hard way. When I first launched my LLC, my very first one, I did everything by the book. I built the website, I got the EIN, I even paid for a Dun & Bradstreet number because everyone online said I needed to do it. I then went and added all the trade lines on my Dun & Bradstreet. So I literally was doing tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 accounts. And when I applied for funding, I was getting denied. That is the moment that really changed everything for me because I realized I was building business credit, but not business funding readiness. And those are truly two different things and they're not the same thing. So most people online are teaching you how to get a paydex score, which is great to actually get. But again, you can have an 80, 90, 100 score, and it doesn't matter if the profile is not built out to support it. Because when you walk into the bank and ask for 50K, they don't say, oh wow, great paydex score. They say, can you handle the debt? What is your actual business projected to do, right? Revenue-wise. Do you pay on time? These are things that they really want to make sure that they're looking at to know that you're going to do well, especially your overall track record as a person and as well as a business too. That's why your personal credit and your business profile together is what lenders now look at to really see the whole picture for what you can handle money-wise. So before I share the 5 banks that will fund you with no proof of income, let's talk about what they actually looking for and how you can make sure you're giving it to them so you get more yeses than nos. So most of the gurus out here are not telling you this. The banks really care about 2 big things. They want to make sure you have the ability to pay them back and that your income or even projected income is going to cover what they lend. They want to see that there's money coming in and that there's a reason to believe that it's coming in. They also want to just see your willingness to pay them back. That's your credit behavior, your payment history, the credit mix, how responsible you are with debt. If you can show both, even on paper, you're going to get funding. That's why these no proof of income products exist. They're not scams or loopholes. They're called stated income business products. They were designed for entrepreneurs, self-employed professionals, and new LLCs who don't get paid traditionally, but still deserve access to capital. Now, here's the big hack nobody is teaching. You can project your income. That means if your business hasn't made $1 yet, you can still say your business is projected to make 100K this year, and it's perfectly legal. This is called projected income. We're not lying, we're not throwing out random numbers, and we can break that down. If you have contracts that are pending, clients in your pipeline, or even a realistic plan to generate revenue based on how much you're spending on marketing, you have real projections, banks are going to use those projections to understand your growth potential. So when that business funding application asks, what's your annual revenue? Don't freeze and just put 0. 0 is going to get you denied. Put what you expect to make, your projected revenue, which is backed by logic and confidence. That's what successful founders do. Now, you might be thinking, why would a bank just take my word for it? Because they're not blindly trusting you. They're reading your actual story through your credit profile. When your personal credit shows consistent on-time payments, low utilization, a strong mix of credit types, low inquiries, that banks, some personal cards and personal banks have given you 5, 10, 20,000 already. It tells them this person knows how to handle money. So even if your business doesn't have cash flow yet, your credit behavior proves your reliability. That's why I always say your personal credit is the bridge to your business funding. It's not a setback, it's a tool. 95% of business funding approvals come from that leverage. So if your personal credit is in that 680 plus range, your utilization is under 30%, and your inquiries are limited, you're already fundable. You can also grab my Operate Like a Pro business credit card checklist at thefundinglounge.com. You can click the link below, where we really teach you how to grow from 0 to 150K in business funding. Now, let's also talk about where to go for these banks. There are 5 banks I've personally seen approve new LLCs, even with no proof of income. My absolute favorite is Chase Bank. They offer unsecured business credit cards with 0% intro APR for up to 12 to 24 months. Reports to all the major business bureaus: Experian Business, Equifax Business, Dun & Bradstreet, SBFE, and LexisNexis. You're building funding and credit at the same time. Bank of America. They also provide stated income business credit cards and lines as well. It reports to Dun & Bradstreet and SBFE, which are both critical for business credit building. They love established personal credit within the business history, and if you have cash in the business bank account with BOA, you're going to get higher approvals. Number 3 is PNC Bank. PNC gives flexible business lines of credit with no tax returns required up to 50K, and they report to Experian Business and SBFE. PNC is ideal for brand new LLCs, especially if you have clean credit. Number 4 is US Bank. US Bank stated income products often start with 10 to 25K lines, and they can scale all the way up to 50 as you're building history. They report to multiple bureaus and are known for quick approvals. My also absolute favorite is American Express. So they also have 0% APR for 12 to 18 months on many business cards, stated income allowed, and they report to all major bureaus. If your personal credit is strong, Amex will be your best friend. You can even get 2 cards, business ones, on 1 inquiry. Now, each of those can also offer up to 25 to 50K on the business side. So you could be stacking funding up to 250K from across these 5 banks pretty quickly if you do it right and strategically. But don't go wild applying for all 5 at the same time. Here's what I recommend. You have to space your applications apart. Start with Chase or American Express because they're the ones that set the tone and have rules for how many cards you can apply for within a 12 to 24 month. Use soft pull pre-approvals when they're available at these banks. Always apply as your business, not as a sole proprietor. And once you're approved, use those cards wisely. Don't treat it like free money, treat it like leverage. You want to use the funds to build revenue, producing assets, ad campaigns, automation tools, client fulfillment, or even short-term flips is fine. But we need to be using this money to flip it, not going into debt with it. So let's also just debunk this myth once and for all that I continuously hear. You do not need to be in business 2 years. You do not need 2 years of tax returns or bank statements. And you also don't need a high revenue company to get business funding. These are all myths. What you do need is understanding. You need to know how the system works and how to position your business strategically. Even me, having a very well-seasoned profile at Chase, that has allowed me to get multiple business cards from Chase, even Southwest, Marriott. And what I did was I combined the cards, right, and applied for even brand new ones to get larger limits. When you have a seasoned profile, you can go to Chase with a brand new LLC and get 40 to 50K on that brand new LLC if you have a seasoned profile. So now that you know how to get approved for up to 50K in business funding with no proof of income, in my next video, I'm gonna walk you through how the SBA loans work and how to get approved for them fast. Let's get it.